Hi everyone, welcome to Policybazaar for Business podcast, where we learn from leaders building people first organization. Today we are talking to someone shaping the future of cloud driven transformation, especially in the industry of consulting space. That's Amit Garg, founder and CEO of MPC. Amit, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Megha. Glad to be here.
So, Amit, before we set the contest and talk about people and culture, I wanted to ask you that when you started this company, MPC Cloud, what was the core problem you wanted to set out?
I've been into this industry for last 25 years, and prior to starting MPC, I had worked for 18 long years. And then one of the key problems which we identified, right, when you look at the customer, everyone talks about user experience and they talk about the complex business problems with the business user faces. But then no one talked about the consistency behind it, right?
Okay.
The key is the consistent user experience, right? And in order to gather and give a consistent user experience, you need to believe your resources. So the MPC was primarily started with two basic understanding, right? Can I give a consistent user experience to my customers? And can I give a great work-life balance to my employees? Because ultimately, we live in a modern world where the people tend to look after the money, right? But I believe resource is currency. So we did some very basic setup. We took care of our employees. In turn, they are taking care of the customer and they're able to give them a consistent user experience, which in turn makes a customer happy, right? And that's how we start with MPC.
I think I'll say that's the great thought behind it. People are not talking about, well life balanced companies. People are more focusing only on the revenue part and the other
Correct.
things. And with this thought, I think if you have started a company, it's a good thought to start with. So in your world, like tech is just a vehicle. With the people, consultant, HR experts around it, what's your approach on building a high trust, high value
Megha,
team?
I think this is the best time you ask me this question, right? If you look around, right, the whole world is talking about the AI or the modern techs, which are, I would say, disrupting or I would say improving the people life, right, from the business standpoint. But it's not that I'm against AI, right? But I still believe is the people brain or the human intelligence which should matter most, right? Because it's the strength in the people brain that delivers the quality. And I can sustain it with the proper usage of the technology, right? Currently that we are talking about the AI. And if you look around, right, a lot of the big tech giants, right, they're going for such a heavy layoffs, right? But MPC as a company, right, and I as an owner of the company, right, will continue to invest in people. Will continue to invest in strengthening their belief that yes, right, the best thing is between your ears and that's the brain. Can I strengthen their brain? And can I give them a life wherein they can take care of everything else coming on their way? So that's how I would say it's all about the people culture, right? If you build a right culture internally, and that can be happen very, very simple, right? Like MPC is known to put the money directly into employee pockets and work on their well-being. And that's where the like insurance policies or the medicals comes into picture, right? Or any other thing which can eliminate that fear part or the unpredictability part of it, right? So we have taken care of our people such a way, right? When we say we are family, we actually mean it, right? And that's where we are able to take care of them by various means. Obviously, money is one part of it, but money alone cannot, right, give you the strength. Is the acceptance of you as an individual, right? That's how people believe that they are the part of the system, and that's where they carry the same narrative to the end user, right? Because Amit cannot be everywhere. So can we create a team who talks about, who works always in the best interest of the customer? And then it spreads like a wildfire. You do it well at the customer, right? And then it moves to the next one. And that's where we have been getting so much work purely because we are able to give that experience to the end user and purely because we are able to manage our people well. And rest everything has been a byproduct.
I think no doubt about it. Like I can see in your thoughts that people come first. In like I asked you the last question also, where you said that the people come first, culture is important. Here also you're giving importance to people. I think that's the one of the key and important thing which people generally miss out. That's very well captured in your thoughts. I think well said this. So given the tight deliverables, client expectations, and team traveling, everybody is under various of lot of stress. How do you maintain that? How do you burn out? How do you attribute? And considering the attrition is also very high, how you preserve all that?
So, mega stress, attrition, and burnout are a typical traits of any IT service industry in modern times. But key is when you start enjoying your work, that's where all those things fades away, right? Now, how you can enjoy the work, right? Purely because when you have again ensured your employee that, hey, you are being taken care of well. Because we all need to understand, we all have 24 hours to work for, right? Whatever way you are earning money, around 60% of your time goes into that particular kind of a work. In IT, it's more of a like 9 to 6, right? But then you need to prepare yourself for maybe 1 or 2 hours, right? So, and if you look at a human mindset, right, when we have studied well in our life, but always you remember those memories, the fun memories, right, when you have actually enjoyed the time. So we have just tried to capture the same thing into the system, right, into the company. But then it is further added by the wellness schemes, right, like, and again, like the policies, right, which has ensures that people, right, they're being taken care well. And that's where the insurance policies, right, medical covers, term insurance, right, and any additional benefits, right, wherein we feel that we are safe. Because ultimately, human tendency is, am I feeling safe, right?
Correct.
So if I can give them that way, right, that yes, you are safe here, you are being taken care well, right, and that's how the whole, the stress, attrition, and all these things. I would say, like to say one thing here, right? In a typical service industry in India, the attrition rate is at least 17%. MPC is 1.3%.
Oh, nice.
1.3% is a phenomenal number,
Correct.
right? What it does is, right, and then we have not greedy. Sometimes what happens is, right, we have always been overwhelmed with the work. But then when there's a genuine requirement, when I understand that my people will be overwhelmed, right, by the additional work, I say no to the customer because that aligns well with my long-term vision. So I don't hesitate to say no, right? Because if you look around today, very few people have the courage to say no. Right? They need to believe that they understand the future well. They genuinely believe in their long-term vision, right? So we have never given people lots of work, right? Where they feel stretched, right? So if you take care of these small boundaries, right, then stress, attrition, and the burnout, everything goes out. And obviously when it is coupled with the policies, then it further eliminates the fear among them. And once you have eliminated a fear, right, everything else becomes enjoyable.
Correct. And
right?
when you have a healthy mind, the productivity is always high,
yeah.
right?
So that's how we take care of these things, right, in the today times.
Sir, let's talk about well-being. In the consulting firm where the traveling is very high, the client dependency is very high, often health insurance is seen as a routine. Though I know that the perspective is changing, what's your take on it?
See, Megha, our elder used to say one thing, Jaan hai to jahan hai, right? And if you look carefully, right, that's how the Policybazaar for business demonstrated well, right? We all live in a bit of a, I would say, unpredictability, right?
Correct.
You take a flight in the morning and you may not know that it will land or not. So it's a very harsh truth, but it has to be digested that unpredictability do exist, right? Now, how to eliminate it? And that's where the Policybazaar for business comes into picture, right? Group health insurance or the group term insurance, right? Can they replace a human life? Answer is no. But can they eliminate the unpredictability factor to them and their family? That obviously they do that. Okay. So what it does is the moment I eliminate this unpredictability or a fear thing, right, then everything falls into line, right? For example, one of the things which we have worked out with Policybazaar for business, we got an option wherein our thoughts were streamlined by Policybazaar for business, and they said, Amit, I can match the coverage for all the employees equivalent to the premium and the coverage they have adopted for. Now, what it does is, right, it have doubled their coverage, right, at the expense of company. So when we say that we are family, we actually mean it. Correct. Right? And the motto of the company, right, if you look at our website, we say that we provide life to people. This looks like a very small statement, but in order to make this life well, you need to live this life, right? And that has to come from every sphere of life. Right? So Policybazaar for business have genuinely helped, right, to give us the platform, right, wherein this vision has been transcended well to each and every employees. Okay. And obviously they're like telecommunications, stress management, right? And then secretarist appointments, right, around the clock. And this makes a lot of sense. Like I'm based out of Gurgaon, right, and I travel to Dubai, right? But then my lot of people goes for on-site travels. So they may be very well aware about the surroundings, right, of the doctor or the GPs, right, in their hometown. But let's say if a person from Mumbai, Delhi, right, goes to Mumbai and he or she starts feeling unwell, what to do? Then I can easily call telecommunications by the Policybazaar and they will help me to understand, right? They have the doctors available. Okay. So, I get comfort that yes, I'm safe. So ultimately, unpredictability, fear, and to give a sense of feel safe, right? That's the key which every human wants, right? And Policybazaar for Business actually helped us, right, to align these objectives in such a way wherein I don't need to go, or any executive of my company, right, don't need to go in depth, right? We just know that, yes, there is a company and there is a people assigned to it who will take care of everyone of employee of MPC very well. And that trust is not a one day story, right? It builds over time.
Correct.
I think it has been 5 years. We have been associated with Policybazaar for Business, and we are able to see that I feel safe, right? So I have never got a call, right, from my employees say that, hey, sir, we are struggling. There has always been either a system or an individual who's actually willing to take one step ahead and help those people in distress. And believe me, if you end up helping someone in distress, that's the best thing
That's
you
the
can
best
do,
thing, correct.
right? Because ultimately, you're again eliminating unpredictability and fear. The moment you eliminate these two things, life is heaven.
Correct. You rightly said in the beginning that, when you fly, you don't know whether you land or not. And similarly, that the same thing happened when we were discussing like Air India ka jo ek craft crash hua tha. In the airlines, we had few of the customers who were traveling and unfortunate event happened with them. So we proactively reached out to their families. We helped them and we have, given them their claims on a priority basis, which is actually, at the time of need, if we are able to do something as a human, which adds a lot of value into their mind and
100% Megha. I would like to add something on top of it, right? Like I have been doing so well in my life before starting MPC. And then obviously I have a family to feed, my wife, my daughter, and my parents as well. And then everyone kept saying me, hey, Amit, you need to preserve something. And I kept saying, guys, I have the term insurance, right? That gives me this coverage. When if something happens wrong, there is someone who will take care of the necessities of the life.
Correct.
And I keep it very simple. Whatever I was earning, right? Can I get that much amount from FD interest from the amount which I get from the insurer, right? So it makes a lot of sense. What it have done is it have eliminated fear from me. And I always say, the moment fear is eliminated from you, you become a lion, right? And there's the first sign of a courage. And once courage comes inside you, right, you're a different people.
Correct.
Right? You will add a lot of value around your loved ones, around your professional circle, right? And anything. And that's why we always say, right, that it's all about the having a clarity in thoughts. So this particular part of the group term insurance or the group health insurance, this gives this clarity in your thoughts. It gives us stability.
Correct.
And that's where I would say that the Policybazaar for Business has been able to do it so well.
So, Amit, as a CEO and founder, what matters the most for you when you design or when you were designing this group health insurance policy, especially keeping dependence in your mind?
Yeah. So, Megha, if you look around, right, nowadays, there is no upper cap on the insurance claims, right? Purely because the inflation is happening and on the basis of the nature of the disease, right? Sometimes insurance coverage is not enough. Okay, so we talked with Policybazaar for Business and understood, is there a possibility where we can add something from our side? And they come up with an idea of top of cover. So very recently, one example happened. In fact, two examples happened. One of the case where he had a heart issue and he was immediately taken to hospital. His wife called me up, said, Amit, we would need some more money because we don't have enough fund. And then we said, yeah, why not? And then suddenly this top of cover came to my mind. And that equal amount of his coverage amount helped me, right, to immediately give the dependent a assurance that we are here. Now, does it eliminate or reduce some stress from her side? I'm sorry, it may not be no, right? But the thing is, she actually felt that there is someone sitting behind, right, who will stand by them, right? And why we were able to sit behind? Purely because Policybazaar for Business acts as a true partner, right? Wherein they are able to give us that trust that yes, and they were able to suggest us well that this is how you can help the employee well. There was another case happened that I think first week of the joining, the employee passed away, right? And then we had a term insurance, right? We were able to give enough money to the family, right? Wherein obviously I cannot replace a human life, but
Correct.
At least I can give them some sort of financial stability, right? And then on top of it, we gave them an offer that, hey, once your child is graduate, we give him a job as well. That's how the life should move on, right?
Correct.
And that's where the Policybazaar for Business policies have actually helped us, right, to carry forward that momentum and genuinely believe and make the people understand that when we say we are family, we actually mean it very well.
I think when you help one employee, that's also spreads, and people think that at the time of difficult times, there is somebody who's around us. So
precisely the region, right? Our attrition rate is so less.
correct.
Because see, if you look at from the typical life cycle, if you're above 35, money alone cannot give you a loyalty. It is the combination of wellness, the policies around, right? Are they being taken care of? Well, if there's something happens to them, what will happen to the family, right? If this all comes as a package, that's where the loyalty comes. So it's money alone, I don't think it can serve the purpose. Yeah. So that's where Policybazaar for Business actually helped and worked as a true partner.
I think it's your great thoughts and ideas which actually also motivated us to give us the benefits which we can offer to your employees, and I truly appreciate the way you think for your employees.
Thank you.
Sir, it was great interacting with you. Let's end up this session with a rapid fire round. So I'll ask you a few questions. Biggest business risk you took and come out stronger?
I think I always believe all in. So everything is at risk.
One trait your team loves or teases about you?
I'm a people person and a man of highest integrity who will never back out.
If you were not building MPC, what would you be doing today?
I would be doing the same thing, but at limited scale, Megha.
Okay.
But exactly the same.
A stress buster after a long client day?
That's a good question. So it's more about playing with my daughter Saisha, and then having a dinner with my wife Netu, and calling my parents.
One health or wellness tip you would have give to every consultant?
Love your loved ones.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking out time today and, having an interaction with us and, giving an insight about what you do, how you build up MPC, and what do you think about your employees. Thanks a lot. We will be back soon with more real stories, conversations on the Policybazaar for Business podcast. Until then, thank you for tuning in.